After the first harvest, most people look at their monotub and think the hard part is over. But this is actually the moment where most growers leave the most yield on the table, and they never even realize it. What you do in the next 24 hours determines whether your next flush is strong or whether you're getting a fraction of what your substrate is actually capable of. I've made basically every mistake you can make doing this, and in this video I'm going to walk you through the full rehydration process, including why contamination risk is higher here than most beginners think, what to do if your tub doesn't pin after dunking, and how to tell when your substrate is finally done for good. And there's one mistake during dunking that can really mess up your monotub, so we're going to cover that too. All right, let's get into it. If you haven't done this before, dunking is exactly what it sounds like. We're going to take our substrate cake and dunk it or submerge it in water for anywhere from 4 to 24 hours. This is going to help rehydrate the substrate before the next flush. But really understanding why this works is what will make you feel confident when doing it yourself. So why exactly does it work? Mushrooms are over 90% water. During your first flush, your substrate gives up a ton of moisture to produce those mushrooms. If you were to weigh your substrate before and after harvesting, you would see just how much weight your monotub has lost and figure 90 to 95% of that is water. So after your first harvest, your mycelium is alive and healthy, but it's going to be running on empty. Think about it like trying to grow a garden during a drought. The plants are fine, the roots are intact, they just need water to grow. Dunking isn't completely restarting your grow. You still have that mycelial network mostly intact. This is just adding back moisture so it can start the next cycle. Before you add any water, you want to make sure you take a few minutes to really clean up the surface. I'm going to assume that you've already harvested your mushrooms. I did an entire video about that, which I will link below, but just in case you haven't, to briefly cover, simply pull off your mature mushrooms with a little bit of a twist, then go through the surface and pick off any little pins or aborts that are left over. Small ones that can't really be picked without damaging the substrate, however, can be left alone. The reason that we want any larger pins removed is we're about to submerge this entire thing in water for 24 hours, and those larger pins will introduce opportunity for rot. Now, obviously, rotting organic matter inside our monotub is not going to be good from a contamination standpoint, which brings me to something I want to address directly. This part can kind of trip up beginners because they panic about contamination and overcomplicate this step, or they get really sloppy because they think the hard part is done and that they can't introduce contamination anymore. The truth is somewhere in the middle. Your mycelium has fully colonized the substrate, and that genuinely makes it resistant to most contaminants at this point. On the other hand, we're also working in open air using tap water and handling our substrate cake that has just kind of been torn up by our harvest. So some exposure is unavoidable. Basic cleanliness still matters here. Just don't let it stress you out too much. Okay, so here's the actual dunking process. I begin by filling my tub with tap water until there's enough to fully submerge the substrate. Try to gently pour water down the side. Don't just blast it right into the cake because that's going to hurt your mycelium. And I don't think there's really any need for any special filtered water or anything here. Now, when you add water, more than likely that cake is going to float to the top. If this surprises you the first time, don't worry, it's supposed to happen. Now, we want full contact between the water and the substrate, so it's not enough to simply leave it floating on the surface. I want the cake fully submerged, so what I do is I take another monotub, I put it on top of the substrate, and then I fill that monotub with water to act as a weight to help submerge it. I feel like this spreads pressure across the surface evenly without crushing the substrate. The goal here isn't to compress the cake. Now, something to consider here, the bottom of whatever you're using to hold the substrate in the water should be clean as it's sitting against the surface of our substrate. Now is not the time to just throw your rusty garage weights on top of this thing. Once we have our substrate fully submerged, I like to let it soak for anywhere from 4 to 24 hours. If your substrate felt noticeably light or dry, or maybe you're on your third or fourth flush, you probably want to gravitate towards the longer end of this and aim for that 24-hour soak. On the other hand, if you've only had one flush so far, or your substrate still looks pretty moist or hydrated, you could probably get away with sticking to the shorter, like 4-hour end. There's no exact science here, we're just trying to replace some of that water that got used up. Over the next several hours, you're probably going to notice your water turning like an amber or maybe eventually a brown with a longer soak. This is also completely normal. It's just some of those nutrients leaching out of the substrate, and it's nothing that you need to get too concerned about. After the soak, you want to pour off as much water as you can and take your time here. Now that your substrate is moist and hydrated, it might have more of a tendency to crumble. So just try to be careful to not let it take any unnecessary damage here, because that's just going to delay our next flush and reduce its ability to fend off contamination. Now, in the beginning of this video, I mentioned a mistake that a lot of people make that can really damage the ability to generate any additional flushes here. The mistake that people make here is not properly draining all the water from the monotub. Standing water left in the bottom of the monotub can lead to conditions where bacteria can thrive, ultimately leading to rot in the substrate. Make sure you drain it well. Doesn't have to get too complicated here. Just slowly tilt your tub as water starts to come out, and I like to use my hand to sort of gently brace the substrate as I pour the remaining water out. Once that's done, we're going to return our monotub to normal fruiting conditions and wait. The mycelium usually takes a few days to recover after your harvest and subsequent dunk process. You'll often see the surface start to look brighter and more connected as the mycelium regain their strength. Depending on the species you're growing, you may notice some blue bruising on the surface here. That's perfectly normal here and probably just the result of you sort of handling the cake while you were draining or rehydrating it. Just like I've previously mentioned, mushrooms can bruise, so can their mycelium. This bluing will often fade as the mycelium recover. After several days to a week, you'll notice small pins forming, and with that, the second flush is underway. Subsequent flushes often happen faster than the first flush because the whole mycelial network is already established. Sometimes those pins can form again in just a couple of days, but don't be concerned if it does take a little bit longer. I would say give it at least 7 to 10 days before you start to panic and think something's wrong. If the surface looks healthy but pins still aren't forming, your fruiting conditions might be off. Either temperature, humidity, or fresh air exchange is probably the culprit here. Now, if you notice any green, black, or pink patches appearing after your dunk, that's a stronger likelihood of contamination and something you probably should be concerned about. You'll want to either remove those affected areas or discard the tub before it spreads. Eventually, your substrate will stop producing mushrooms, and that's just part of the normal process. Some people report getting 2 flushes, 3, 4. I've heard people online say they got 14 flushes from a single monotub. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. When the surface of your substrate looks kind of just thin and exhausted, that's usually a sign that your monotub is retired. You might have pins forming, but then they abort before they ever get a chance to mature. Or the yield from each flush is just going to start dropping off a cliff to the point where you might only get 1 or even 2 mature mushrooms. As a general rule, I think most monotubs can safely produce several flushes, depending of course on conditions and genetics. And when it's done, it's done. And that's not a failed grow, that's a successful one. Rehydrating your monotub is one of those stages that feels more complicated than it actually is. At its core, you're just replacing the water that your mushrooms previously used and giving the mycelium what it needs to grow again. Do the surface prep, accept the contamination for what it is, get a full even soak, drain the monotub carefully, and be patient. Now your tub is reset and ready to go. And if you need a refresher on what exactly those fruiting conditions are, I've got a video that I'll link right over here. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy growing.